Hello, everyone, once again. Pavel here with Eocortex. I see there are so many visitors today. I'll be happy to present the new version 3.2 to you guys. We are starting right now. My colleague Raman is over here as well. He'll be supporting me with demonstration and with answering your questions. So please feel free to drop your questions during this presentation today, right here into the chat box, and we'll be happy to reply.
Sorry, Paul, but it's better to send your questions to the questions and answers section directly in the Zoom. So, hello, everyone.
Nice
to
comment.
see
Thank
you.
you. All right. Just one more question from me, guys. Please confirm whether you can see my presentation right now with Eocortex 3.2 slide on it. All right, nice. So many visitors today over here. So I'm really glad to welcome you to our webinar with the release of Eocortex version 3.2. We have several interesting topics. Let's proceed with the first one. So today's release includes 4 major blocks of development of Eocortex products. The first one is actually related to solutions for professional systems that are based on Eocortex. That is maps, GIS maps, integration with GIS maps, then upgrade of our Linux version, certain technological improvements about which we'll clarify later on. Then the next block is related to the improvement of intelligent modules, video analytics like suspect search module, suspect tracking, people counting in the queue. We have other developments as well, like P2P connection, which we are introducing with version 3.2, as well as we just recently acquired certification of NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology in USA. As well as we have upgraded our mobile application, made it even more easier for you guys to use Eocortex with with the help of this platform. And it will be one of the most exciting parts of this webinar. We'll talk about this development last, so please stay online. And I'm also really excited to present to you this new development. So let's move on to solutions for professional systems. And first of all, that is integration of GIS maps. As far as you know, with Eocortex, you always had plans where you were able to draw or upload plans of your premises. Now we went beyond that and we've integrated maps. So you can use it easily, place cameras on the maps, and like you do install them in the real life. You can also get video streams directly from these cameras and use these streams or open up the video streams from these cameras right on this application with GIS maps integration. You can also quickly switch between system locations within the map. And you can also get information about alarms or events happening within your system, as well as control the I/O sensors of your cameras and other devices. There are now 2 types of maps that were integrated. So that is Google Maps and OpenStreetMaps. And of course, since it is the development for professional systems, it is included free of charge in the versions of Enterprise and Ultra licensing. And you're always free to test that with time-limited licenses, or whether you already have these types of licenses in your systems on the installed objects. So I'll pass it to Raman right now for a brief demonstration.
Thank you, Paul. Let me share my screen. Can you see it all?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. So, as Paul told you, this function is pretty similar to the plans that was already added to our software. And let me show you how it looks in the client application and how it is easy to configure this section. To get the access to the maps, you just need to run a client application, and there's the additional point in the menu on the left side named Maps. By clicking on this point in this menu, you will be transferred to the map for your system. As you can see on the main side, on the main part of this screen, there is the map for the system, and at the right part of this section there's a list of cameras that are available for this map and list of locations that can be easily switched between themselves to get the easy access to any certain location within the same map. In case if you need to find any location directly on the map manually, you can easily scroll down or scroll up directly on the map and select the needed part of this map without any issues. In case if you place any camera on this map, you can easily check the status of this camera by hovering the cursor on the camera icon and check the real-time stream from this camera without the need to switch to this camera in the client application. But in case if you need to switch the view for these cameras, you can easily select any cameras that you need to display and click on create view option in the context menu, and Eocortex client will create the corresponding view automatically. In case if you can't find your camera manually on this map, or for some reason you can't remember where this camera was placed, you can easily find this camera by, sorry, it's a Russian language, by searching in the right side section, and by clicking on this camera with right mouse button, you can select find on map section function that allows you to switch directly to the selected camera. To configure this functionality, you just need to select in configurator the corresponding section named maps, select the needed type of map, and just drag and drop the cameras that you need to place on this map, on this location. And in case if you need to, you can rotate these cameras to set the more accurate records of these cameras. So it's pretty easy to use, it's pretty easy to configure. I suppose that's all that we can tell about this function at this moment. So I'll switch the words to the Powerback.
Thank you, Raman, for your brief demo. That was nice. So I see our customers can now have much wider opportunities with Eocortex to manage their high-end systems, such as safe cities, for example. All right, let me go back to my presentation. And the next development is related to Linux version. So from time when we released Eocortex on this platform, as far as you know, it had no intelligent modules. So Linux version is now being upgraded with 19 intelligent modules. They are all now available with this platform, and you're free to select this system and use intelligent modules with it. As well as we also introduced Active Directory support, which is also now available with Linux version. So for those who are working with these types of platforms, please feel free to request for a trial and take a look at the version and check what are the advantages that you can use with this feature in your project. All right, what are the other technological improvements that fall into the release of version 3.2? And the first one is integration of B-frames and receiving and displaying of B-frames of the codecs of H.264 and H.265. working with those video streams. Basically, what advantage does it give to you or to your customers, to end users? With this functionality, you would be able to save on the archive up to 50%. So this way, you can make your systems based on Eocortex even more cost-effective and have more advantages against your competitors within the projects that you implement worldwide. To get more information about this feature, how it practically works, how it supports you to save on the storage, on the archive, so please feel free to drop your questions, and we'll be happy to provide you with insights and with more detailed information how you can gain from using this development with Eocortex. The next one is related to the convenience of working with Eocortex and managing your system. So with the help of this development, you would be able to transfer cameras from one server to another whenever it might be required within your system, and you won't lose the archive. So all the recordings that were done on the server from which you removed your camera, they will be available for this camera on the other server, on the new server. So it is really handy. It prevents any loss of information. You have a stable, secured archive from your camera wherever you move it from one server to another server within your system. And of course, a feature related to the stability of the system to failover solutions for Eocortex, and that's archive redundancy. Of course, that allows to counteract system drive or failures. Okay, the next portion of developments is related to video analytics, and those were the improvements with a switch from GPU to from CPU to GPU processing of intelligent modules of Eocortex. And the first module that is over here in the release of version 3.2 is tracking. As far as you know, this module allows you to control the perimeter within the premises of your project, to get notifications about intrusions within the perimeter, line crossing, or the long stay within certain area. As far as you know, most of you guys who know Eocortex, they are experienced with this module. And as far as you know, it was tracking just objects in general. So now we did an improvement, and we added several filters to it. So you would be able to track specifically for people, or you would be able to detect specifically animals or vehicles, or exclude certain types of object from this module upon the need. As far as I mentioned, that it was switched from processing the video streams on CPU to GPU. So this way, this module will require less hardware resources, less expensive CPU, which is also a good advantage for you guys to make more cost-effective systems. Of course, the accuracy was upgraded with the help of introduction of these filters. And Raman will support me with a demo right now. Just give me a second to switch my screen. All right, Raman, you can take it over.
Yeah, thank you, Pavel. As Pavel told you, this model was upgraded, and at this moment, we are supporting 3 different types of objects that can be tracked by our tracking model. Of course, you can easily use the old version of this model without any premises, without any issues. But in case if you need to, you can easily select the type of object that should be tracked. We've got a lot of feedback that sometimes squirrels or any animals interrupts the control area or something like that, and system notifies the guards about each of these events without any difference, was it a person, was it a vehicle, or was it an animal. So Now, with the additional functionality of this model, you can easily switch and select what type of objects should be tracked. In the tracking model section, settings section, you can activate the corresponding option that was added for version 3.2 that allows you to track only people, vehicle, and animals, and select what type of objects should be tracked. In case if you need to, you can select them all or combine them as you wish. At this moment, as you can see, for this model, for this camera, only people detection is selected. And let's check how it works in the client application. As you can see, there's a lot of objects in the control area that moves within the same area, but model tracks the persons only. For example, this model is pretty suitable for the safe city projects where you need to control the roads and control the traffic rules or something like that, and uh, check for any rules interruption or in case if you have a mentioned issue with the animals that crosses the borders, crosses the parameters. So it's pretty easy to configure. You just need to select the corresponding filter and Eocortex will do all other by itself. So let me switch the screen back to Paul.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Roman. Right. I think I'm back here with my presentation. Yeah, just to highlight, guys, so it is not mandatory to use the new filters and the new neural networks technology. So you can still use the standard tracking module, which is based on CPU, or whether you can opt for a new one, which is based on GPU. So it is totally up to you. Just to clarify that whether you already have systems that were installed with the tracking previously, with which is based on usage of CPU, it still works. It is still supported. So it wasn't removed. No panic about that. It's just an upgrade, and it is optional whether you would like to have it or whether you would like to stay with the standard one. Now moving to the next one, that is improvement of suspect search module of Eocortex. As far as you know, with Eocortex, you are able to search for objects, for people, with colors of their clothes, with time, with size, with position in the frame. Most of you guys who already worked with Eocortex, you are aware of this feature, and some of you use it practically with their installations within the projects. And I'm delighted to inform you guys that we have reworked this module. We have also switched the technology to neural networks, which allows to improve the accuracy now. So you will have much lower quantity of false alarms, and of course it will be much more accurate, and it will require less CPU power with your servers. And let's move to the demonstration right now. Roman?
Yeah, just one moment, please, Paul.
All right.
I'm just switching the cameras.
Yeah, while Roman is switching the cameras, once again, we'll have the most exciting feature, which will be released in the version 3.2 just in the end of this webinar. So stay online and, of course, drop your questions. We're happy to reply to all of your questions, your feedbacks about what you like, what you think could be improved. Please share your opinions. And I see that we have even more and more participants on today's webinars. So the number is just increasing. I'm really glad to see that. Thank you all for joining us today. And Roman, are you ready?
Yeah, we are ready.
Okay.
Sorry for the delay. Yeah, as Paul mentioned, there's a lot of improvements in the interactive search, in the suspect search that our developer team made. And actually, A small teaser. It's not the final version of this interactive search, so stay tuned. This moment, we've implemented in neural networks for the suspect search model that allows you to improve the accuracy of this model and decrease the load on the CPU with the usage of GPU. At this moment, you can see on my screen two different cameras from two different locations named suspect search part 1 and part 2. Uh, for both of them, there's a new function was activated that allows you to use uh, graphic cards to track the persons. To activate this function, you just need to switch to the model settings and activate a small checkbox named increase detection accuracy by using GPU. That's all. And after activation this function, Eocortex will use your GPU on the server for classification and identification of the persons of the objects that were detected in the control area. Previously, we've got a lot of feedback that our model sometimes search for the persons, but finds an object that can be named as persons at all. So previously, this model detected leaves moving in the frame or something like that. And this situation was even if you select the corresponding filter persons only. Now, if we use a suspect search model with improved accuracy by use neural networks usage, uh, this model will find the persons only for the selected period. Okay, there is the results for the interactive search, for the suspect search that was made without the filter persons only. And sometimes, as you can see, there's the results with incorrect image like this one, or this one. It's just movements within the frame that was detected by interactive search. But if we apply people only filter for the same time slot and repeat the search, as you can see by the uploaded results, there is no false recognition results as it was without this filter. And as I said, it's not the latest state of this model, so we've got a few surprises for the further versions that will help you with the searching purposes. Of course, you can still use the same functions that were available for the previous versions, such as suspect tracking, a function that allows you to track the persons within the several cameras. So let me switch back to Paul.
Right. Thank you,
Yeah,
Roman.
and a
Yeah.
small notification, a small warning about calculator. I just see the corresponding message in the chat box. At this moment, our calculator can't calculate the load from the new versions of our models. So it's better to contact your account manager for the correct calculations for your systems.
Yes, thank you, Roman, for this comment. So yes, our calculator is being reworked, and it will be definitely adjusted to calculate the um, required information and provide you with the most accurate results. So it needs a bit of time to do the fine tuning, though you are always with our support. We're always happy to provide you with all the necessary for you to be successful with Eocortex. So whenever there is any need for calculating requirements, hardware requirements for modules, for the new modules, so please feel free to send your request to your account manager at Eocortex, and we'll do that with personal approach. So, and Roman would be doing that calculations as well. So feel free to send us questions and requirements for calculations for your projects. Let me go back to demonstration of my screen. The next module which we introduced in the version 3.2, that is people counting indoors. And as far as you know, guys, from beginning of this year, we really focus on developing something extra in order to satisfy the requirements of our today's world, and that our customers would be able to comply with regulations and help to decrease the spread of COVID-19. As far as you know, we've developed face mask detection and some other features, and this one is actually related to this kind of support as well. So people counting indoors, this is the module that allows you to get timely information of how many people are there actually right now within the premises, within the shop, for example, or within the certain room. You can always set the threshold of how many people there should be, what should be the limit, like 10, 20 persons inside the area. And if the number of people grow over this requirement, then you will get timely notifications that there are too many people in the area, and you must do something about it. As well as you will get on-screen notification how many people are there exactly right now, what is the limit, what is the actual limit, whether it was broken or whether not, whether there are too many people inside or whether there are not. So you can also arrange a display and arrange it for your customers so that they can see that there is space in the area and they can go into the shop, or there are already too many people and they should stand and wait until someone leaves the shop in order not to create the overcrowded area with too many people, and not to maintain the threat of the virus. And Raman, so are you ready with the demo?
One moment, please.
Okay, no worries. And once again, thank you guys for joining this webinar. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your support as well, because we are actually, most of our developments are driven by the demands of our customers, of our partners, their needs for the CCTV systems, for video surveillance systems, to solve the daily tasks, to solve the daily needs. So most of the developments that we do that on demand, on your requests. So it is crucial, important for us to get your feedback, to get opinion about our product, about what you like, so that we could focus even more on this type of development, for example, on specific feature, or what you think could be improved, or maybe you would say that something is missing right now in Eocortex that would actually definitely help you gain more success with Eocortex. So please let us know what are the features, what are the requirements. We'll be really happy to process all of that and then provide you with the feedback about what we can do about it, whether we can include it in our further releases, further versions of Eocortex, or whether certain functionalities could be already implemented or satisfied by existing features within the Eocortex.
So there's just network connection broke up between two different machines. Where is the server located and where is the client application located? One additional moment, please.
Okay, I just open up the chat box with questions. I see there is a question from Shrestra. Thank you for a question. The question is whether we can apply the line crossing analytics to the lane crossing. So actually, with Eocortex tracking module, you are free to draw the lines, the tripwire, and also arrange the perimeter with different kinds of angles. So if you draw a line within the area that you need, like there is a lane, for example, and you put the line of tracking module on this lane, and whether it is crossed, you can also select whether it is crossed with one direction or with both directions. Then you'll get notifications about this event. As well as, like we demonstrated today, you can also filter it out, and whether you need to get detections only about cars, vehicles in general, you'll get that notifications only about vehicles, or whether you would like to filter and get notifications only about people crossing this lane. So you'd be able to do that as well. So if I correctly understood your question, that is my answer, and I think it satisfies the requirement. All right, there is one more question from Kumar. What are the access control systems that can be integrated with version 3.2? Well, there are already several systems that are integrated with Eocortex, or vice versa, which Eocortex integrated. That is Honeywell ProWatch, for example. Then we're working now on integration of Paxton. Paxton will be integrated. We're also looking at what could be the priority for integration of such systems right now. So please also send us your recommendations, and we'll see which ones are under the most demand, and we can plan integrations of those systems as well. On the other hand, you can always share with us a project where such integration is needed, and we can do it on individual basis within the special version of Eocortex, which can also follow into the release later on, after you test it, after you implement it, and confirm that everything works perfectly fine.
Paul, sorry to interrupt you. Can you free the screen demonstration?
All right.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
sorry for this delay. There are some technical issues was occurred for this demonstration, but now we're ready to proceed. Yeah, as Paul mentioned, there's some improvements was made for this people counting model that we have in our system that allows you to not count entering or exiting persons only, but the control, the count of persons that's can be counted as staying inside the area, staying inside the building. So as you can see, there's a few changes in the model interface. On the top right corner, there's the counter for entering persons, the counter for the exiting persons, and the counter for the control area that was created for this zone. So please take a note that this model takes the difference between the exiting and entering persons counters and displays you only positive values. So for example, in case if for some reason you've activated this model when there were some persons inside the area and they've exited the area, for example, as this moment it was displayed, uh, this model will decrease the number of persons inside the area to the zero only. To configure this model, you just need to select the corresponding camera that you plan to use for people counting, get to the settings, and there's additional section named login areas, where you can create the zone that you plan to track. Uh, you can assign the different cameras to the same zone. You can rename this zone, and you can set the maximum allowed number of people for this zone. Please note that for the same zone, you can apply several cameras, and you can apply the same camera to the different several zones. So in case if you need to control area with several entrances, it's easy to do with this model. Uh, in case if this model will detect the sorry, in case if limitations of this model will be exceeded, you will receive the notification in the events log and in the system events that can be applied for any automatic actions that the limit was exceeded. And in case if the control area is back to normal number of persons, the corresponding message will be received by the system, and this message can be applied to the activation of any automatic functions too. So there's the messages in the events section, as you can see, and the maximum number of people in counting zone is exceeded, and the control area is back to allowed. So, oh, do you have any to add?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Roman. Switching back to my screen.
Sure.
Yeah, module will be really useful for retail and for other types of industries that actually work with traffic of people, where you need to obey the regulations in regards to the quantity of people in certain zone, in certain areas. So please feel free to check it out, to test it, and even more. This module is based, Roman, please correct me whether I'm right or wrong. The module is based on, well, the addition or the plugin, let's say, is based on the standard people counting module, right? So it doesn't require anything extra.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
comes with a,
This
it comes
function
with the
doesn't
module.
require any additional installations or any additional resources from the server. It just takes the existing information from the model that was already collected and just displays you the difference between these two parameters. So,
Nice, nice. So the customers will get this feature without acquiring a separate module. Okay. The next development is also related to the support of, let's say, anti-COVID measures. And that is the possibility to recognize the temperature of people, whether person entering your premises is with a fever or whether his temperature is at normal state. You would be able to get that information with the help of this module. So it is based on face recognition as well, and you will get information about temperature of the person whenever it is detected by thermal camera that you connect to Eocortex and place it at the entrance to your premises, for example. As for now, it is Mobotix cameras that are integrated, so you can get temperature information from those cameras. And what is convenient, you don't have to go into the settings of camera to get this information. So you'll get that in your single unified platform, which is Eocortex. So it is just displayed right on the information bar of face recognition module, and it will overlay the information with temperature right on the photo of recognized or detected person. And with this module, you'll be able to get live information as well as then check the event log and see whether there were people entering the premises with high temperature in the past. And of course, get notifications, get alerts whether someone with fever is entering your premises. So this way you will be able to get timely, exact information, and you don't have to spend time to manually measure the temperature of person who enters your premises. It differs from country to country, from one regulations to other. But for example, over here in Russia, whenever we enter the office, for example, or any other organization, if you need to visit someone, at the entrance you will be measured, your temperature will be measured, and usually these are the regular means, which take a little bit longer time. and with help of measuring temperature through a camera with Eocortex, and get this information timely right on the spot whenever any person approaches your door, for example, or your checkpoint. So yeah, basically it is part of face recognition module, and you will be able to check it out by testing the latest version 3.2. Whether you have the cameras that are now supported. So as I advise, Mobotix cameras are supported. In regards to other models, you are free to send your questions with brand name and model number, and we'll be happy to check whether that's right now on the integration list or whether not. And if it is required for a specific project, we're happy to take a look at integrating this camera as well. All right. Now, other features that are related to the convenience and ease of use of Eocortex, improvements that are being introduced with version 3.2. One of them is the upgrade of reports. Right now in the configuration app, we have separate menu for reports, where you can manage them through applying the settings with a list of modules. Previously, you had to go into the camera settings, select a specific camera, and then arrange reports for this specific camera. Right now, you have special menu when you can select all the cameras through where a certain module is connected. For example, people counting, and you can arrange the report for all the cameras within your system that are related to people counting module, or personnel monitoring, for example, or face recognition or car number plate recognition. So that became even more handy for you, easier to configure the system and to save time, basically to save time, your precious time on configuration. All right. What else is included into the release of version 3.2? That is also P2P connection. This is the feature that was requested from us multiple number of times by several segments of customers. So therefore, to satisfy their requirement, we have introduced it with version 3.2. And now you are able to connect with Eocortex, to connect Eocortex client to Eocortex server without outside of NAT. So simply what kind of advantage does it give to you? The customers, they don't have to pay for public IP address or VPN service, and it is not obligatory to use white IP address right now with this feature. And of course, it also simplifies the setup process of your network. Please also test this feature with a version which is also already released on our website. I also mentioned about certification of Eocortex. Our product, our specifically face recognition module, was tested by NIST, which is National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is based in USA. So right now we do have this particular certificate, and if you meet tenders or requirements where it is written that the product or face recognition product should comply or should have NIST certification. So please be aware that right now Eocortex has this certificate, and you can take part in that tender and be sure that Eocortex complies with that particular requirement. All right, and most exciting part of demonstration today, of presentation today, of version 3.2 and the features that are included into this release. We have improved our mobile application and made it even easier for you guys to use our product and for end customers. So it became much more handy and much more functional. I'm glad to announce that Eocortex releases the world's first voice assistant that allows you to work with video surveillance systems. This is Eve, and let me tell you what Eve can do right now. So once again, it is professional voice assistant, which allows you to communicate with your video surveillance system with the help of your mobile application. And there are several means how can you communicate or how can you send your requests and execute commands within your video surveillance system. First of all, there is chat, and you can simply write into the chat the task that you would like to execute. For example, you would like to open up an archive on specific camera, or you would like to show you a specific view from your video surveillance system. That is all possible. You can also use command buttons and simply push on the button with a specific task that you would like to execute. What is even more handy, you can use this voice assistant like hands-free. You can use simply voice commands, and you can talk to voice assistant, and voice assistant will talk back to you. You can request, once again, there is a list of commands right now which is available. It is related to managing cameras. It is also related to the module of face recognition. You can enroll profiles into your database by simply setting a voice command, like, for example, add photo of Raman to my database. And then you'll be requested to provide this photo, and you would be able to download it from, for example, from your gallery, or you can simply do a selfie right on the spot and include yourself into the database of face recognition. And you can also set alarms, notifications this way, and get information whenever a certain person is entering your premises, or search for someone within your office, which is now included into the database of faces within your system. So as far as I know, that is really unique, and that is truly the world's first voice assistant for video surveillance system. So please also feel free to try it out and to give us your feedback, your comments. What do you like about it? What can be improved further with this voice assistant? And definitely we will be upgrading it, and we'll be building it with more features and more functionality for you to be more, for you to use the Eocortex in an easier way, in a more convenient way for yourselves, and of course for your customers. All right, so Eve is available in Eocortex mobile application. It's being updated right now, and you will be able to download it from App Store or Google Play. It is available there. All right, and right now I would like to provide you with some highlights from our commercial blog. For those who are new to Eocortex right now, I'm glad to inform you once again that we have a handy tool for you guys to start with Eocortex, which is Eocortex Start Package. It allows you to get 5 enterprise level camera licenses for your demo stand, for your office, which are lifetime. You won't have to worry about extending the time and limited licenses. You will have these 5 enterprise licenses, let's say, forever. You can use it for your lab. You can use it for your internal tests, for trainings for your engineers, as well as use it as a demo tool for your customers, for your end customers. For example, whenever they come to your office and you would like to show Eocortex to them, so you'll have your own system with Eocortex licenses installed, with all the features included in it, and it will be lifetime. So apart from 5 enterprise level licenses, it includes face recognition module. It includes all other intelligent modules apart from LPR. So basically what we have just discussed with you today, these features will be, they are included into these licenses, which you will get. Apart from that, we also would like to motivate you to not just try it out and demonstrate it to your customers, but actually implement the projects with Eocortex and gain profit from it, gain your customers' loyalty by providing them with extra functionality, with not just simply a VMS solution, but with intelligent modules with features that help them to solve their daily business or commercial tasks with help of video data acquired from their video surveillance systems. So for that, we would provide you with extra 5 licenses, and basically for any type which you select for your project, whenever the project is implemented. The condition is that the project should be of 10 cameras and more, 10 channels and more, and it should be implemented before the end of the year, before 31st of December 2020. Whether you have a project, let's say for 20 cameras, and you're offering 20 LS licenses, for example, into this project, or 20 enterprise level licenses into this project, so it means that you would need to purchase only 15, and 5 licenses will be provided by us as a complement to motivate you to get this project and to implement this project with Eocortex. And this offer is with extremely low cost. It is just 21 euros. Basically, it is just the transaction fee, let's say. Almost free of charge. So please feel free to take the advantage of this offer. To apply for it, send your request to your account manager with Eocortex, whether you have one or not. If not, just send it to sales@eocortex.com, and you'll get this offer instantly. Okay, and to summarize everything up, once again, thank you guys for joining this webinar today. I was really happy to present you the new version, Eocortex 3.2. It is available on the website right now. The change logs are available there as well, so you can download the change logs and take a detailed look into the changes that version 3.2 carries on, as well as other documentation is also available there, like user guides, admin guides, which will help you to set up the system and to install the system and to set it up and to arrange the modules and do all the necessary settings. As well as please do remember that we have YouTube channel where we have videos, short videos with instructions of how to install Eocortex, how to install specific modules. So please feel free to refer to those ones, whether you have any questions or whether you would like to check out more detailed information about Eocortex. And of course, our support is always glad to get your questions, to get your requests. So whenever you have any question, technical related, send it to support@eocortex.com. Commercial related, send it to sales@eocortex.com or to your account manager at Eocortex. All right. Now let us check the questions from the chat. Okay, there's a question from Kenneth. We're working with a partner. How can we get this offer? So just request this offer from your partner. If he's a distributor of Eocortex, if he's authorized distributor of Eocortex, then he has information about this offer and he possesses all the required information about it. So no worries, just request it from your partner. You can also synchronize it with us send your request to us, and we will talk to that specific distributor to arrange an offer for you. No worries about that. Definitely, we do. You will get the copy of this presentation right after the webinar. You will get an email with the recording of this webinar, as well as with information about special offer, start pack special offer, and the change log for version 3.2. Roman?
Yeah.
Are you here? Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm just a bit involved to the questions. Yeah.
No worries. Could you help me, please, to reply to these two questions? The first one is about cameras, Hikvision, Dahua, whether they are supported, and also Tiandi cameras, whether they are supported by Eocortex right now.
It all depends from the cameras itself, because we are supporting a lot of different cameras, a lot of different devices, and the full list, the entire list of supported devices can be found on our website. Let me share the link in the chat box. There's the list of all supported devices, and in addition to this list, you can check for your cameras. Thus, they support OnVIF Profile S that can be used for connection between Eocortex and camera units. And in case if even this profile is not supported by Eocortex, sorry, by a camera, there is still the possibility to connect any camera by RTSP link without any issues, without any premises. In case if you need any specific functionality from these cameras, and this camera is not included to the mentioned list, in this case, you can contact your account manager, and we'll discuss the integration of your camera to our software without any additional fee. So there is no problem to add any camera to our software.
Thank you, Roman. There is a question from Kenneth. Thank you for a question, Kenneth. The question is as follows. We work with, sorry, I just missed that one. I just replied to that one. Let me skip to the next one. There was a question about body thermal cameras. Question by Juan. Is it possible to use Axis thermal temperature cameras or Samsung body thermal cameras? So as far as I know, right now there is a specific list of cameras that were integrated specifically upon your request for your projects, guys, where it was crucial, where it was really important and urgent. So we took that brand of cameras and we did the integration. If there is a need, Juan, for Axis thermal cameras or Samsung thermal cameras to be integrated for your project, so please just send us the models, the exact models of these cameras, model names. Send it to your account manager, whether you have one with Eocortex, and clarify information about your project, like how fast you need this solution, and what is actually the final technical task, what is required by the end customer. And we'll provide you with most urgent assistance. Thank you for your question, Juan. Roman, there's a question from Tan from Vietnam. He's asking about OnVIF 2.0 integration. Whether, as far as I understand, whether it is supported by Eocortex or not, and whether the next versions after 2.0 are or will be supported. Could you please help me with that question?
That's actually a good question. Yeah. if I get it correctly, NVIF 2.0 was released in 2010 year, and this protocol is supported, but this protocol includes different profiles, and at this moment we are supporting only NVIF profile S, and for some devices we are supporting NVIF profile G for archive synchronization between the Eocortex system and the internal storage of the camera. So if you're interested for usage any specific profile of NVIF, it's better to check them directly. But at this moment, we support NVIF profile S and profile G only. So please let me know, did I answer to your question? You may tell me in the chat box, for example.
Okay, okay, thank you. The question from Shrestha about connecting via RTSP and that RTSP does not support the PTZ function. That is why we have our own development team who works on integrating cameras on daily basis. So we do manual integration from our side, and of course the camera, any IP camera can work with Eocortex, whether it's connected with RTSP or OnWIF protocol. But there might be additional features that you would like to have or your customers need to have from cameras, but they are not supported with standard protocols. Therefore, we do manual integrations, like we can integrate specifically PTZ function. We can integrate specifically audio function, two-way audio, for example, or we can specifically integrate recording synchronization of recordings on SD card of the camera. So that is all possible. Just send us your tasks and camera brands and models of what is needed, and we will check, because we have huge list. Actually, you can go to our website, supported cameras on the technical section, and over there you can check out which camera brands models are integrated right now. If you don't find your camera over there, or if you find and you need some specific function, just send your question to your account manager at Eocortex, and we will provide you with a reply, and we can integrate it if it is needed. Thank you guys for your questions once again. We're still here. We're not leaving. We are ready to provide you with answers. So you may still stay active. I appreciate that. I see that we have really great number of participants over here, and you are still with us, on this question section, on this section with questions. So yeah, drop more of your questions.
Yeah, Paul, can I interrupt? There's a lot of questions in the question sections that asks about the license plate recognition model. For some reason, I just can't get the idea why we are talking about license plate recognition, because during this meeting this model wasn't mentioned. But to unite all questions about this model, like what is the difference between these two models, complete and light, and does this model support any country in the templates list? I'll just give the common answer to this question, because it's not the topic of this meeting. Please contact your account manager for the proper information about your questions, because some countries are supported by our models, some are not. And the main differences between these models, it's better to determine with the complete vision of your project, to check what type of model will be the most suitable for your site, for your project, and for your purposes. So
Yeah.
please, dear friends, please ask the questions about the topic of this meeting.
Not specifically, I would disagree. So if you have questions that are outside of this topic, we're also happy to reply to you. But yes, of course, in a priority, please give us your feedback about today's presentation. What questions do you have about today's modules that were presented today? But if you have any questions that are not related to that, we're still happy to reply. In regards to the modules of LPR, once again, there are two different types of LPR modules, and they differ according to the set of countries you would like to have. But in general, in most of cases, doesn't matter in what country you are in right now. In 99%, we would be able to satisfy the requirement of those number plates with one or with another module. In general, all the European number plates are integrated. We have a good number of projects implemented in Belgium, the Netherlands, as well as Spain and Italy, where not specifically these countries' number plates are used, but in general, whole European Union. So that works perfectly fine. As well as we have multiple projects in Asian countries, in APAC region. And Roman is correct. Just send us your project requirement. What country is it? What are requirements towards the recognition of car number plates, whether it's a highway or parking situation, and we'll be happy to provide you with personalized approach and reply with a solution. No worries about that. Roman, could you please support with question about general reports and possibility to export them to Excel? How does it work with Eocortex? Like today we talked about further development of modules and reports for modules.
Well, I suppose it's better to share my screen now in this case. Can you? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. One moment, please. So for the reports generation, there are two different options exist in our software. You can generate the reports in the real-time modes with the client application, and you can schedule the report generation within the Eocortex configurator. Previously, this report generation function was added to the automation section, and you was needed to search for the certain camera and create for each camera separate reports generation rules. Now, for the version 3.2, there was a small change that excludes the generation reports from the automation section and transfer it to video analytics section. And now, in case if you need to create any automatic reports for any intelligent model, you just need to switch to video analytics section, select the needed model that you plan to use for report generation, and create the rule how often this schedule should be executed. Basically, this function saves the reports in a CSV file that can be read by Excel or OpenOffice Calc or something like that. Any other application that can read CSV tables. And in case if you need to export these files in, for example, XML files, I suppose it can be discussed as part of our roadmap for the further versions, or as a part of custom functionality for your projects without the need to add this function to the common version. So it should be discussed. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Roman. There is also a question of Tom Dawson. The question is as follows. He would like to have a guide to which modules are included with different license level. That is definitely available, and it is available on our website. You can go to eocortex.com. Let me guide you right now. That would be useful for most of participants over here. if you go to our website, eocortex.com, the first section that you need to take a look at in regards to the guides or information, technical information, there is support section, which is number 3 from left to right. So you can see products, solutions, then you go to support. And in support, you have manuals and guides. So please follow to this section. And you'll see over here, Eocortex 3.2 admin guide, user guide, as well as technical specification. So to get general information about Eocortex, you need to check out technical specification. It includes all the info about features that are included, about modules that are included, license types that are available, and of course it will be um, uh, it will be um, broken down into the license types. So under each license type, you will be able to see what exactly it has inside, what kind of modules does it support.
I suppose on the first steps you can use the basic information that's still is available on our website too, but in a bit different section, products, video management software. The link to this section is in the chat box. So there's a short list what license types, what features have, and what intelligent models are supported by the different license types. So in case if you just selecting at this moment what type of license you want to use or want to test, it's better to check the basic information on this page.
Right, right. So let me share my screen then. Yeah, to easily answer to the answer to this question. So eocortex.com. Right on the first page, you also see products. Yeah, just select video management software. It's yeah the home page, and you see video management software license packs. You see here ML, LS, ST, Enterprise, Ultra, and below them you get detailed information about how many cameras these licenses can support, how many servers, workstations, and which modules are included. As you can see, free of charge in Ultra. You get face mask detection, you get face detection, abandoned object tracking, suspect search, and some other modules are with a dollar sign. It means they have to be purchased additionally. So the licensing is pretty simple. It is transparent. It is per camera channel. So for each camera channel, you would need one VMS license, like Enterprise, for example. And if you would like to add extra modules to it, then you need one extra module license for your camera. All right, let's check some other questions. Roman, there is a question from Mark. Actually, it is in chat. Nevertheless, it's a question. Could you please support with that one, the most recent one? I would like to know if we can use a screen, a single line counting display, just to show the live count number of people in the shop.
Sorry, but I didn't get the question. You need to display only the counting results without the
well, as far as I
image,
understand,
or
yeah, as far as I understand, it is as follows. He would like to have one display with just information about how many people are there inside right now.
Okay, got it. It's a bit a tough question because at this moment this function is not directly supported by Eocortex. So for example, in case if you plan to connect any additional display that will display only the number of persons staying inside the area without any live view of the image of the stream, it can be processed via API, but the API for this model is not updated yet. I suppose in the nearest versions of our software, API will be updated, but not at this moment, unfortunately. But it's valid for a common version only. In case if you require this function, I suppose we can boost the development of this function, development of this possibility as a part of custom version, or in case if there will be a lot of requests from different projects, this function is not unique. And in case if many of you will require this function, I suppose we can push this question to our product manager to implement in the nearest version of our software.
Yeah, just to summarize it, that's a pretty easy answer as well. Just send a requirement to your account manager, and what can we do? We can consult you on how it could be arranged on your side. That you can arrange this kind of integration of your monitor with data from Eocortex, or we can potentially do the development. To do the development, we would need certain project that requires this feature. So let us know what is it for, what are the deadlines, and let us evaluate what can we do about it. Thank you, Mark. Okay, there are still people with us. Let's grab a couple of more questions. Roman, there was the first one. Not sure whether it was replied or not, about GPS. Is it possible to use GPS data in the GIS or Maps application in our new feature?
Yeah, I got the question, but unfortunately, no, not at this moment, because for the version 3.2, there was integration of GIS maps only for the for this part of API that allows us to download the map itself and use it for our purposes. For GPS or any similar functionality, we will need to implement a lot of additional functions and a lot of additional features. Some of them are closed by the service owners, and unfortunately at this moment we can't control it. So at this moment GPS is not supported by this function, but I suppose it's a pretty good function that should be discussed with our product manager too.
So we'll share this idea with our product manager, and we will let you know about her feedback on this development. Thank you, Wilco, for this question. There was also a question from Judith about integration of UniView cameras, whether they are integrated with our system. Yes, we have pretty advanced integration with UniView, and not just the cameras. We also integrate NVRs, and you can synchronize the archive from UniView NVRs to Eocortex, get the video streams, live streams, archive streams. That works perfectly well. There's also a question from Mohammed Hazim. Can we control PTZ camera using joystick through Eocortex server? That is also possible, like USB type joysticks can be connected and can work with Eocortex. And we have even some advanced integrations with keyboards, professional keyboards for CCTV, like Bosch and Panasonic, for example. So yeah, PTZ will work. Raman, am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Requirements towards the module, as far as I understand, also of the module of LPR. How many frames do you need for this module? 10 frames per second, whether it's enough or not?
It all depends on what speed mode you plan to use for this model.
Yeah. So if it
For the
is
parking modes, there is enough to use 6 frames per second, but for the highway modes, there should be a bit more frames per second. If I remember correctly, 20 frames per second should be received from the camera for the correct recognition for the highway mode.
okay. Okay. Nice. So if you are limited to 10 FPS somehow, parking version will work for you.
Yeah, there's a few questions about the possibility of counting the models. Sorry, the counting of objects by a tracking model. Like, can we count the animals, the vehicles, or something like that? The question from Ellie Isler, for example. Please forgive me in case if I read your name incorrect. Uh, at this moment, tracking model does not support the function of counting the objects within the control area. The tracking model is designed for the tracking the movement of any certain objects in the control area. It's just can't count the objects that were detected. Some questions was about the possibility of classification that detected objects, like can we classify the bicycles, vehicles like cars or trucks or something like that. This feature will be implemented in version 3.3, so stay tuned. But for counting function, I suppose it should be discussed for the certain project separately, or as I mentioned it before, in case if you have certain projects, or there will be mm, several requests from you guys, we can discuss with our product manager about the implementation of this function in our roadmap for the further versions. Yeah, so there was a lot of questions about this functionality, and I suppose we can answer them all with this information.
All right. Thank you, Roman. One more question in regards to uh, people counting. Whether okay, sorry, I'm just checking it out. Whether same in and out can work for people counting. Yes, that's totally correct. It can count incoming and outgoing persons. So it is all right, as well as it can work with several entrances as well.
Yeah, that's correct.
There is a question from Pandya once again about maps and
Yeah, I see
GIS
this question. Yeah.
devices,
Uh,
right?
Yeah, it is possible to place on the same map cameras, I/O relays, I/O boards that are supported by Eocortex and added as the devices in the Eocortex system. In case if we are talking about any network nodes like concentrators or routers or something like that, these devices can't be placed on the map because they are not supported by Eocortex directly. But in case if you are talking about any sensors or any I/O relays that can be added to the Eocortex, they can be placed on the map too.
Okay. I see also there are several questions about Eve already. Guys, would like to check it out. There's a session for it in the application right now. So as far as I was informed, it is in the new mobile application version. So just download the recent one and check it out.
Yeah, on a small note, unfortunately for iOS version, the development process took a bit more time than for the Android version. So 3.2 version for iOS will be released in a few days from this moment. But for Android version, you can test it just right now. So in case if you want to try and check this functionality for iOS version, please wait a bit. The version for this operation system will be released soon.
Okay. Guys, any more questions? You're so great. I see there is still more than 50% of people that were with us initially from the very beginning. They're still online. So if you're still here, drop us more questions while we still have a little bit of time, and we'll be happy to answer. Roman, do you see any more unanswered questions?
Actually, some questions we have that were unanswered, like what engine Eocortex use, but this question is not for this meeting, unfortunately, and we can't provide the information about this question during this meeting.
Classified, private information.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you,
So,
Paul, for the
so
correct term. Yeah,
send it to your account manager, and we'll provide you with a reply by secret.
yeah, and in the question section, I see a few questions about. It, actually, it's not a question. It's more as ideas are tough. So like some our friends want to test, want to try our software, and they're asking about the possibility to receive testing copy or purchase the software in their countries. Guys, please contact our sales managers, sales department by sales@eocortex.com, and you receive testing license for your testing purposes to check all functions that our software can provide for your project. Uh, and
Yeah.
there's a question in the chat box. Have you any distributor in Bangladesh? Paul, can you provide any information about this question?
Well, as far as I know, there are certain partners that implement projects with Eocortex in Bangladesh. I'm not sure whether those are system integrators or there is a distributor, but we'll be happy to open up a dialogue with you and discuss the opportunities. Please send your question to sales@eocortex.com, and we will appoint a person who will be responsible for further communication in regards to that matter. So we'll be happy to have a dialogue with you. Yeah, and thank you, Raman, for clarifying about tests. So once again, it is really easy to get the test version, or it is easy to get Eocortex into your premises, into your office. There are multiple ways about how you can do that. You can go to our website, write into the chat box. There is a pop-up chat there, and just send your question over there. Ask for a test version over there, no problems. Otherwise, if you have an account manager, just request a test version from your account manager. He'll provide you with a license, with the activation code for the trial license. The version itself, you can always download from our website. In the support section, there is a subsection for the software downloads. Just get the recent one, which is 3.2, install it in your system, take the license from Eocortex account manager of yours, and install it in your office, or anywhere you wish to install it in your project, and take a test of Eocortex 3.2. Otherwise, so that is time limited license. It will have the duration of 30 days standardly. Otherwise, if you don't want to hustle with time limited licenses and extending them, you can always request for Eocortex Start package, whether you are a system installer or integrator. This offer is for professionals only. So if you are installer or integrator, you can apply for this offer and get 5 enterprise camera licenses with full lifetime without any limitation. These licenses will already include face recognition module, people counting module, smoke and fire detector, and all other modules of Eocortex apart from car number plate recognition. So you'll get these 5 licenses, and you can use it freely for your demo stand and not worry about them getting expired. So they will stay with you basically for forever, let's say. And you will also get additional 5 licenses for your actual project when you sell a project before end of this year. And this offer costs you only 21 euros, which is basically it's just the bare minimum. It's the transaction fee for us to get you the licenses from Russia. So these licenses, they are aimed for the soft key, but you can also have a USB key if you acquire one from your distributor in your home country, in your area where you are situated. So that's a really good one. Please take advantage of it for your demo stand and for the project. So you get these 5 extra licenses, you resell them at full price, you get 100% margin, good for you, or you can get an extra discount for your customer, for your project, also good for you to get the project, to get the customer loyalty, to introduce a nice, professional, easy to use product to them. So to apply for it, please also contact your account manager or sales@eocortex.com, or go to eocortex.com website and write into the pop-up chat that you would like to have an offer. Okay, I see no more questions. No more questions are coming.
Yeah, at this moment there is no new questions, but Paul, can you remind me, did we answer the question from Mohammed and Omar about the possibility of movement fire and smoke detection model to neural networks? Can you make a mark somewhere for yourself to discuss this with our product manager, because this is an often question that's we receive from our partners and from our customers. So at this moment, this model is not transferred to neural networks, but we will discuss the possibility with our product manager.
Yes, definitely. So we have a trend, let's say, developing the modules, the new modules specifically, and shifting the existing modules from CPU on GPU based on a couple of factors. First of all, most of you guys requested for Eocortex to be able to share the load from CPU to GPU to make the systems more cost effective, to give an advantage over competitors, to make servers less expensive, to make them more affordable for your customers. So that is why we're moving into that direction, and we're actually taking really good steps towards that. We are, let's say, almost there, because we have the new modules. They are already on GPU. Face recognition module, for example, face mask detection, and some others. The existing modules like tracking and suspect search module, as far as you can see, they are already available on GPU with the new version 3.2. So definitely we will be moving forward with that, and sooner or later, smoke and fire module would be also available on GPU. I suppose it's the matter of time. Anyways, we'll talk to our product manager and we'll check out what are the exact plans and whether there is any schedule for this module to be reworked and included into the version with GPU support. All right. Roman, there's a question from Mark Henry.
Yeah, I see this question.
Like?
Yeah, Paul, I see this question,
Okay.
but at this moment, unfortunately, I can't provide any information about this question. It's better to contact with your account manager in case if you already contacted with our colleagues, or contact please with our sales at eocortex.com email with this question, and we will provide the complete information about this question. At this moment,
Okay.
unfortunately, I can't answer this question.
Okay. Um, I, I had I had this type of questions some time ago, and I was yeah kind of studying this information. As far as I remember, um, that this kind of certification was required for physical products, and Eocortex is a software product, so it is not obliged. Let's say it is not required to have such certification. So, and if it is for physical products, it is only USB keys that we have as physical products. And USB keys, USB dongles that are used for licensing Eocortex, they might have the certificate. So we'll check out and we'll provide you with a reply later on as well, Henry. Thank you. Roman, do you see any more unanswered questions?
Yeah, I'm trying to find any. At this moment, I see the question from Jose Alejandro Concha to determine the number of people and to allow me to a maximum in a hospital waiting room, for example, can use the crowd detection model. Uh, yeah, you can do that, but please know that this model have its own requirements for the camera placement and for the image received from the camera. For example, in case if you have camera placed on the ceiling, this model can incorrectly count the number of persons within the control zone, and the results will be inaccurate. So it's better to examine the control area that you have and that you want to control with this model. For example, send a few photos, so send a few images of the control area and the camera placement that you plan to use to our sales managers, and we will check is it suitable to use crowd detection model, or in opposite, it's better to use any other model to count the maximum number of persons within the same area. In case if your question is not answered, please let us know in the chat box. And actually, at this moment, I can't find any unanswered question in the questions section.
Yeah,
Do
well,
you?
Roman, there were several questions. I just could miss it out whether we answered them or not. In regards to object classification, whether we can classify the vehicles, whether that's motorbikes,
Uh,
lorries, or just
Yeah,
cars.
got the question. I believe that this question was answered, but let me
Okay.
repeat. At this moment, at the version 3.2, there is no possibility to classify the vehicles or any other objects with interactive search or tracking models. So, for example, you can't configure your system with tracking the bicycles or motorcycles or trucks only. At this moment, this function is not supported, but a small teaser that I made a few minutes ago was about version 3.3, where this function, I believe, will be implemented. At this moment, our developers works on this functionality, so stay tuned, and uh, we will be glad to see you on our next presentations and webinars about this functionality. So I suppose this information can be counted as an answer to this question, and I can find any question that was left unanswered. So do you, Pavel?
Yes, me either. I think yeah, we were pretty good, and we replied to all of your questions, or at least most of the questions. I'm sorry if we missed something, but we tried our best to go through all these chat boxes. So if you have anything else to ask us, please feel free to contact us. You have our contact details. You know how to approach us. Um, Feel free, and let's continue our communication. So we'll see you soon on our next webinars. We'll have the next release, and before that, we'll have webinars with solutions. So we're happy to see you there. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sparing this time. I hope it was really useful. Um, and you can take advantages of Eocortex with features of 3.2 and with the help of Eocortex Start Pack offer. So go on to the website, test the version, give us feedback, send us more questions. Happy to see you next time. You are all great.
You all are breathtaking. Yeah, thank you for your patience, for your interest for our software, and I hope that we'll see each other soon. So, at this moment, I suppose we can finish our meeting, right?
Yeah, I think so. So
Okay.
thank you once again, and all have a good day.
Yeah, all have a good day, and stay safe, please. There is still a familiar issue, I suppose. Yeah. So please stay safe, guys. Bye.
See you.